Good morning, Hojo staff, students, and families. Ya Teabin, we're ready to start our day, so everybody please stand. Place your right hand over your heart. Our voices are off and our bodies are still, standing respectfully. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, October 8th. And before I forget, there are no birthdays today at our school. Interesting. Happy on birthday, everyone. Let's play some music, the music for the week that Mrs. Neff has provided for us. Okay, what were you listening to? Carnival of the Animals, The Aquarium by Camille Saint-Saëns. That's right. That is a French name if I ever heard one. All right, let's try this piece. Tell me what we're listening to. Do you remember? There are 4 selections in this group. We've learned 3 of them. It's Vivaldi's, that one from the 4 seasons. This one that we just listened to was Spring. That's right, very happy and peppy. And right now we're in autumn. We haven't listened to that one yet. I think Mrs. Neff has that one coming up soon. We'll see. But winter's on its way, and we know that one too. The snowflakes flying, the lazy days of summer, the long sounds, those are done. And so is spring, unfortunately. But they'll come around again. That's how the seasons work, right? Right now, autumn, winter, spring, then summer, and then we start all over again. The passage of time. Okay, let's try one other. How about this one we haven't listened to in a little bit? Do you remember? Who's the composer? Beethoven. And the piece? Für Elise. That's right. Für Elise. Our 2 teachers at Hojo named Elise. Miss Stefke and Miss Temkett. For them. Okay, let's do our poem. Who's our poet this week? Emily Dickinson, right? 6th grade poem if you were in 6th grade or were in 6th grade last year. Narrow Fellow in the Grass is something that you would have learned. So let's read this one together. A narrow fellow in the grass occasionally rides. You may have met him, did you not? His notice instant is. The grass divides as with a comb. A spotted shaft is seen, and then it closes at your feet and opens further on. He likes a boggy acre, a floor too cool for corn, but when a boy in barefoot I more than once at noon have passed, I thought, a whiplash, unbraiding in the sun. When stooping to secure it, it wrinkled and was gone. Several of nature's people I know, and they know me. I feel for them a transport of cordiality, but never met this fellow, attended or alone, without a tighter breathing and zero to the bone. His notice instant is, right? You get startled when you see a snake. Even maybe if you like them, you're just surprised, right? Do you see how she describes the grass divides as with a comb, right? So the grass, you can see, it's almost like it's parting. If you have tall enough grass, you can see where the snake is in the grass because it opens, just as if you had combed it, like it was your hair that you had combed. So grass divides as with a comb. Isn't that an interesting way to describe a snake in the grass? That's what poets do. They observe things and think of ways of sharing it with us so that we think about it in different ways. Very clever. Okay, art this week. Let's see. We are studying a French, like Camille Saint-Saëns is French from our music. We're also studying a French artist. And we said this one is Georges Seurat, and the piece is called A Sunday Afternoon on the Island of La Grande Jatte. And he did another piece here. Same design, same style, little dots. You can tell a little bit more in this piece about the little dots you can see. Do you know what this is? Do you recognize this? It's also a piece of architecture that's a real place you can go to visit. Do you know what this is? The Eiffel Tower, Le Tour Eiffel, en français. That's right. Gustave Eiffel built this Eiffel Tower, which is still in France, and it's a place that people go to visit. So Georges Seurat painted with pointillism, little tiny dots, and he made this painting. Le Tour Eiffel, Eiffel Tower. Do you know what else Gustave Eiffel made that's very famous? Statue of Liberty was a gift from France. That's right, in New York Harbor, right there. Statue of Liberty. All right, another French painter, Renoir, two sisters, right? Let's see what else I have here. How about one? Okay, let's do this one so we don't forget. Washington Crossing the Delaware, Emmanuel Leutze. An important piece by Leonardo da Vinci, The Last Supper. You don't want to forget these. Last week, our artist was Grant Wood. And what are the two pieces that he painted that we looked at? American Gothic, right? The farmhouse with the two people and holding his dentist and his sister. Remember the picture of that? And then The Midnight Ride of Paul Revere. Okay. We have a presidential race going on right now. The executive branch works and lives here. This is the president's house, the White House. So every president who becomes president lives in the White House. And then the U.S. Supreme Court, where our justices are. Okay, the next one is where our senators and legislators meet. We're going to recognize this one, U.S. Capitol Building. That's right. And one more today, Washington Monument. All in Washington, D.C., and we'll go visit them one day. Okay, friends, we did music, we did art, we did poetry, and now we're working on the First and Second Amendment. I'm going to say the First Amendment, you repeat after me. Or repeat with me, because we've been doing this one for a while. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. First Amendment. Second Amendment. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. So I think tomorrow we'll start the Third Amendment. And the Third Amendment talks about quartering soldiers. Back when during the Revolutionary War and throughout all time, when soldiers invaded another place or they were in a war in another country, they have to have a place to live and to sleep and to eat. And they would, the people who lived in the country that was being invaded often had to support the soldiers who were from the other side, the enemy. Can you believe that? The enemy coming to live in your house and eat your food. And back in the time of the Revolutionary War, the British soldiers would come live in the homes of the people of the United States, the colonies. And back then, they may have only had one bed and one bedroom, and they would have to give that to the soldier, and they would have no choice. And although that seems really strange right now, right up through World War II, which was a war that was going on when my dad was born, that the people in the Nazi armies and what have you, they had the people of France when they invaded, and the Channel Islands in England, they had to let those soldiers live in their house in their town. They occupied it and they would live in their homes. It's very, very difficult. So the United States, when we had our Constitution, they made a law that no soldiers could be quartered. That means to be housed and fed. No quarter. Like you might say somebody's quarters, you've heard that before maybe, where people lived and were fed. And so that there was no quartering of soldiers without the consent of the people in the United States. And if the United States required it, that there would have to be a law that was passed about that. So no quartering of soldiers. So we're going to learn that amendment tomorrow. The end of the quarter is tomorrow, the 9th. So make sure you're working on getting all of your work turned in. If you are struggling with something, make sure you reach out to your teacher. The grades will be incomplete. If you haven't done enough work for us to give you a grade in a particular subject, it will say incomplete. Now that doesn't mean that that's the end. You can still work to get that changed to a grade. Right now our grades are passing and not passing. And so for this year, until we're back at school and things are back to normal where kids are coming all the time, we'll have pass, not pass, and incomplete. If you have too many not passes and incompletes, then moving on to the next grade is going to be a challenge. So if you want to move on to the next grade level when the school opens up, I need you to be working on your assignments. If you're struggling with that, you need to reach out to your teacher or to someone here at the school, including me, and let me know what we can do to help you. That's all we have for today, so let's do our student pledge. I will do the good, I will learn the true, and I will love the beautiful. And I hope you have a great day today.